When you're blue and kinda lonely too, you'll find a smile will go a long, long way. Though you're down, don't sit around and frown. A little smile will go a long, long way. Never grieve, just try to make believe the sky is blue, although you know it's gray. Don't you pine, it's just a waste of time. You'll find a smile will go a long.
Aboard, it's Ron and Jen's Great Escape, the YouTube podcast, where you can actually see what we look like, unfortunately. Our trio of brouillons is front and center. What's a brouillon, you ask? That is the, yes, it's Christmas time. The trio of brouillons, a brouillon is like the village idiot to the 10th power. And we're being very selective this holiday season. We'd like to get you involved if you'd like to submit a name for brouillon, the trio of brouillons as a topper.
But let's just, okay. Who's an asshole out there?
A lot of people are
You're not
assholes
supposed to say that. Okay,
a-hole.
jackass.
Let's say a-hole.
Well, yeah, but we just got to talk like people talk, you know, if we really tone it down. So I won't say it again, but that's the idea. Who is a big old out there?
Right. You can Facebook it to us on our page. Ron and Jen's Great Escape on Facebook. Just give us the name. We'll come up with the image. And we're looking for a tree topper. So that's going to be like the biggest a-hole that you can possibly come up with this holiday season.
I think that we might have to put that kid or that guy, Omid Scobie, or Ahmed, you know the guy that wrote the book about the Royals? I mean, this guy.
Yeah, that guy's a brouillon.
If he's in cahoots with Harry.
Cahoots.
If he's in cahoots with, Meghan? Is that her name?
Meghan Markle.
Then that's bad enough. But if he's just decided to go rogue and write this book to make money, that's really bad.
That's why people.
It's so awful, some of the things he's saying in that book.
What people write books for. Gossip.
And then they say that the Dutch version, did you hear this? You know how there were evidently two racists in the royal family? Is it racism or just is it ignorance to say, how dark will Archie be? I mean, because that's evidently what somebody said about his skin color.
What's the big deal with that?
They just were wondering what his skin tone would be. And so, you're not supposed to ask anything about anything that has to do with skin color, I guess.
Well, you know.
And then you're a racist. So two people did, but they were exposed in the Dutch version. They had to pull all the books.
They exposed them.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but.
It's like that falls under the get a life category. Okay, this guy in this book. I got a really good get a life story coming up for you in just a little throw.
Is that racist? Listen, because if that's racist, then this is racist. So when I was a kid, my best friend growing up in high school, Dawn Chapman, love her. We still talk from time to time.
Hi, Dawn.
She's a strong black woman. She's a Air Force vet. And, we were just growing up together, and I didn't know. So one day she put suntan lotion on. And I said, what? I said, what are you doing? See, I'm like, you think you're going to get a tan? She looked at me and she said, black people get tan?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Well,
so was that racist?
No, it's ignorance.
Yeah.
You were ignorant at the time.
Totally ignorant to that.
And she educated you.
Yeah, and we laughed.
Nicely.
And then I said, well, let me use your hair product because I thought it was like dippity-doo. Listen. You can't use black people's hair products. I couldn't get that grease out of my hair for a month.
That's different.
We laughed about that.
That's good.
We're just different people learning about each other.
And you did learn, which is good.
We did.
Thanks to our sponsor of this fine YouTube podcast, Brenda Lee O'Hara and O'Hara Senior Care Services. If you want peace of mind, there's Hazel. Knowing your loved ones are being cared for, they're safe in their own home. Contact my friend Brenda Lee O'Hara and her great team at 401-345-1811. You can reach them online, too, at O'HaraSeniorCare.com for the far-sighted dog over there. I'll also let you know what the four Greg's locations are up to this holiday season. We'll get into that in just a minute. And also Operation Stand Down Rhode Island. And you can reach them at 401-383-4730. And online, it's OSDRI.org. And
Hazel's mouth.
We'll get into that in just a little bit.
Disgusting.
As you know, I'm a kid of the bucket, born and raised in Pawtucket. I happen to be in the City of Pawtucket Hall of Fame. So all things happening in the bucket mean something to me. And apparently, they're going through what you're going through in your apartment. Rainy roof.
Oh,
and all the damage. And
my closet it was like Noah's Ark in there. It was bad.
It's really, really bad, and it has been bad for the longest time at Pawtucket City Hall, which was built between 1933 and 1936. They put this big tower on top of it in the 70s, but it is just leaking like a sieve. And, voters in the bucket, Jen, they did approve a $5 million bond to renovate the tower, but that ain't going to cut it, according to my man, Mayor Grebian, says, nope, not enough dough.
What else is going on? Because I read earlier this week or late last week about how they're still talking about saving the toy.
Yes.
What is happening with that?
It's still this billionaire who came out of nowhere.
Again, though.
Who attended, I think, the University of Rhode Island or Rhode Island College. I can't remember which one. But now he's still willing to pony up like $40 million to keep the stadium, McCoy Stadium, intact and build the high school around it. But I don't know if that's going to be feasible enough. But if you're the mayor of Pawtucket, you're going to leave $40 million on the table?
No.
I don't know.
No, you don't. I mean, if it's possible to save that stadium, I would.
Yeah, I would too if it's possible.
I mean, that's the biggest thing the city's got.
But it's got to be useful. You know, you have to at least have the high school athletes play on that field. They can play baseball, they can play football on that, even though they have a nice football field right next to it. So, but it's that story, Jen, is what we used to call vapor stories. We can still call them that. You know, they're hot as hell, and then all of a sudden they're out of the news, but they still percolate, and then they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stories. Yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. I mean, let's not forget Eliza Fletcher, the woman who was running through Tennessee City or somewhere in Tennessee, and she was raped, by a man, and then her body was dumped behind a school. I mean, that was a hot, issue for days. She was very wealthy. Remember that story?
Until the story advances.
Right.
It goes on the back burner.
And then just like the guy that drove his car through the crowd of people in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Where's that story? It's gone. And before you get to your next story, I have to address this, and I realize it's Ron and Jen's Great Escape, but I have to ask the question out loud because I haven't heard anybody on talk radio mention this. So
no surprise to me.
So I have to. Okay, so I watched a great show about fascism the other day on PBS. It's Rick Stevens or something, and it was just so entertaining. I love documentaries. I love stuff like that. And I've been thinking about that. How is it that you have these pro-Palestinian people? I don't care if it's Susan Sarandon or the Congresswoman or kids in high school that have no idea what they're supporting. They just support something because they can act out and be violent.
In colleges.
Yeah, in colleges. How is it that the same people that are doing this and marching along campuses and in the middle of the road, they're going to ruin the Christmas tree lighting in New York City. That's coming. Just watch. They talk about inclusivity, and they talk about diversity, and they talk about acceptance, and they talk about allowing people to live their truth. These same people are okay with exterminating a race of people.
And that word has come up.
Exterminating a race of people. And we've already been there and done that, and they tried that. So how do these people, from the river to the sea, would like to get rid of Jewish people? Would they like to gas them? Would they like to put them in front of a firing squad?
It's horrible.
Would they like to inject them with some bio weapon? What specific? So how can the same people, Ron, that say these things, that portend to be inclusive, say, inclusivity for everybody except Jews and Republicans?
Because they're hypocrites.
But how do you exterminate a race of people? But
good Lord, I hope we never find out.
But here's the deal. That's not my point. My point is, and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And be okay with it and say that way of thinking is okay. We're going to just kill all of the women, children, Jewish people. It doesn't matter. Let's just rip babies out of mothers' wombs and behead them and behead the mother. That's okay.
It's madness.
Ron, it's demonic.
It's madness.
It's demonic.
And of course, guess what's just around the corner? Hanukkah begins on December the 7th, lasts until the 15th. Who are these people?
That are okay with this, I mean, none of it's okay, obviously, but I'm just shocked and saddened and confused by all of the pro-Palestinian people in the world screaming from the river to the sea, which means exterminate the Jews.
Yes.
What? Who? What? You're sick. You're sick people.
Just for that term,
That's all I
extermination, to
Yes.
become part of our daily parlance is absolutely frightening.
You know, I've been.
And if we don't learn from history,
Yeah.
guess what?
Yes.
We're doomed to repeat it.
I mean, never again. What a joke. Never again is happening now.
It's happening right
You know,
now.
and I don't mean the phrases, but you know, for people, we thought that it would never again. But I've been to Dachau, and when you walk around these
Oh, yeah.
concentration camps, you can still smell in the ovens. There's a smell, and I went 30 years ago. I'm telling you, I'm shocked at what is happening in this with our species right now.
It's absolutely
across the board.
Brutal. My
That's it.
get a life moment
Yes.
comes from the fact that people are upset. This is unbelievable. Former First Lady Melania Trump has seen backlash over her outfit choice as she attended Rosalind Carter's funeral on Tuesday of this week. Get a life. I mean, every First Lady was there. Every former First Lady was there because Rosalind Carter asked that happen.
Yeah.
All right? So every First Lady, so most of them, yes, they were all dressed in black, except for Melania Trump, who had a gray overcoat on. Big effing deal.
Well, they say she had a black dress under the coat.
Well, when's the last time
That's
you...
what they say.
I dread wakes. I think they're barbaric. Funeral masses, I don't think... they're not as barbaric as a wake.
No, a service is an
But
appropriate.
yeah, but the whole thing about dressing in black, that's so past. It's so past tense now. I cannot remember the last time I went to a wake or a funeral and dressed in black. Most people, it's all about showing up, to show up for support and help people through their grief. To pick on something as asinine as this, it's insignificant and it's just stupid. I'm no big Trumper by any stretch of the imagination.
Now, believe
but I
that.
can tell you this.
That's right.
That's just somebody searching for a reason to
Yes.
dump on Trump.
That's right. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Outrageous. So
I mean,
I
that's
got
right.
that off my chest.
Yeah, well, good. Today is Ron and Jen's Great Escape. Get it off your chest day.
151. Episode 151. Now, before we get into Jen's news, let's talk about our fine sponsors again, okay? And we already thanked O'Hara Senior Care Services. You can reach Brenda Lee O'Hara at 401-345-1811. Online, it's o'haraseniorcare.com.
I want to live in her home.
Yeah, she's got it going on. She's
I
very
wanna
classy.
live in her home.
She's a very classy individual. And she's always styling and profiling, too, on Facebook. Also, how about Greg's? Greg's 4 locations for the holidays. I'm pleased to announce that after the final round of voting for 2023's Providence Journal Reader's Choice Awards, guess what? Greg's took first place in 2 categories, Best All-Around Restaurant and Best Desserts. And they really want to thank all of their customers for voting. And don't forget, holidays are here. Greg's are great for holiday parties with party platters and also for a destination for your holiday gathering. You can find out more at gregsusa.com. And don't forget about their desserts. They're absolutely fabulous. And the Giving Tree is going on again. Giving Trees are up. And business is up, really pretty picking up. I was at Greg's the other day, and I saw some of the gifts on the Giving Tree. You just take a tag, you bring back with the person, the senior citizen, the child, or some other part of an organization that they serve. gregsusa.com for quality, cleanliness, Rhode Island tradition for over 50 years, and super duper for the holidays too. And also Operation Stand Down RI.
Yes, Operation Stand Down helped save my life, folks. And if you're inclined to give to veterans and want to help veterans this year, they're a great organization. You can give non-perishables, you can give canned goods, you can give money, you can give bedding, whatever it is. If you have things that you think might help homeless vets, they need your help. It's the holiday season, and believe me, I've benefited. I used to live in the Holly Charette House, which is homeless shelter
Yes.
for women vets, and they were just so good to me. So you always want to give back. But if you're a veteran suffering from injuries caused by your service, they can help you. If you're a veteran and you need some disability help, you just call up your battle buddies over at Operation Stand Down. They can help you. Their legal assistance team can help you really with anything. They can help you with some debt you have accrued, if you're trying to get an apartment, if you have legal issues with that, if you have money issues, if you have need help turning on your electricity. They help me with all of that, and they will certainly square you away and do the same for you. So all you need to do is log on to osdri.org, and you can shoot them an email, or you can call them. Write this number down, 401-383-4730.
All right. Big wins yesterday on Tuesday. We record this on Wednesdays.
Big wins?
Winds, W-I-N-D-S.
Winds.
The Washington Christmas tree fell down.
It did.
Yeah, it fell down
It
atop of.
looked awful.
I don't know if that's an omen or a signal or something, but I don't know what's going to be happening in Times Square. And you mentioned that there might be some protests, which, of course, they protested. They tried to protest during the Thanksgiving Day parade,
Well, they
too.
glued themselves to was it 6th Ave?
I hope they're all still stuck there.
Yeah, no, they got them up. But no, so
Hot water always melts glue. Remember that.
Yeah, well, no, there's huge flyers going up, and they're talking about ruining. I think the flyer even says ruin the tree lighting. Show up with, and hundreds. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, will show up to this event.
And guess what?
New York Police Department is already on alert, and they're alerting people. Hey, be careful, be advised, keep your heads, your eyes locked on.
And whoever posted that should be fairly easy for authorities to check out who posted that, because that's inciting violence. That's a crime.
Yeah,
and
but
the person
don't
should be
see
arrested.
it that way. Because a lot of these people are coming from. Listen, it's like what it is it's dressed up Black Lives Matter movement. It's the same people that funded that. It's the same people that were out-of-towners that went into towns and rioted and lit things on fire. These people are getting paid with dark money. It's not a conspiracy. It's fact. They're out-of-towners, and they're coming in, and they're causing all kinds of shit.
All kinds of chit.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn our attention
Jen's
to
news!
Jen's news. Maybe
Jen's
we can lighten things up a little bit more with some of these stories. You love food stories. I know
do.
that.
Sometimes, though, it's okay for us to have serious moments.
It is.
Because we're adults, and we have, you can't be frivolous. Frivolity is great, but sometimes, it warrants, hey, I have a serious thought.
Jocularity always rules.
But not during Jen's news.
No. All right, what do you got?
Now, Doritos has, hey Zoe, what do you want, honey? More love. I love this dog. Doritos has created software to make chip crunching silent.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it bothers people. The sound of constant chewing while eating Doritos can be a lot to listen to.
That's true.
Oh, you think? I guess if you chew with your mouth open.
Who
But
does
the brand,
that? That's so disgusting.
I don't know, but the brand has come up with a fix. They've created a new crunch cancellation software, appropriately called Doritos Silent.
Silence.
That basically cancels out chewing sounds. It was designed for video game fans, so they can I like that. So they can eat without disturbing other players, but anyone can use it. The AI technology was made for Doritos, but developers say it works on other chips, crackers, and raw vegetables too. So there you go. You just need the Doritos Silent app. So get the Doritos. By the way,
Look what's out from under the crawl space. It's the Festivus poll.
it's the Festivus poll.
By the way, what?
Experts are saying, industry experts, technology experts are saying that robots will dramatically change society by 2035. And what I mean by that
There'll
is...
be grass growing over me by then.
No, that's only 10 years.
Well, there might be grass growing over
10
me.
years, pal. That's not... Come on.
Pally.
So, they're saying that a lot of these AI robots, these robots will force... We know that people out of certain workspaces, factories, they're saying that the elderly will have robots caring for them. So they'll be
Might do a better job.
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying.
Not if you use O'Hara Senior Care Services.
Well, that's true.
Because they're the best.
That is true. But they're saying, but expect major changes in what society looks like, outside of everything else going on by 2035. That's crazy. Miller Lite breaks out their Christmas beer cracker. Okay, it looks like a nutcracker, but it opens your beer.
Is it an ornament?
I guess that's the best way to describe Miller Lite's new beer cracker. The company is offering a limited time bottle opener decoration for the holiday season. The traditional nutcracker has been replaced with a mouth that opens beer bottles and a removable hat that opens beer cans. There's even a small gift wrap box of Miller Lite at the beer cracker's feet, and you can get them at Miller Lite's online store today through Friday for a $30 price tag. I don't get anything from Miller Lite, by the way, for saying that.
No, you can't do that.
If you want one, jump on it fast because they're going like hotcakes.
That's a good stocking stuffer.
It might
What,
be.
$30 for a stocking stuffer? I guess that's a going right now.
kitschy.
Or a Yankee swap gift,
Yeah, I guess.
You got one more?
I do.
All right.
Pop-Tarts. The Pop-Tart Bowl will feature edible mascot. For the first time ever, a bowl gift, the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Pop-Tart
It's
bowl.
getting worse and worse.
They all have
The
most.
Tostitos Bowl.
It all started with the what the hell was it? The Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl.
Yeah, this is really
Blue Bonnet
getting
margarine.
ridiculous.
Do they still make that, by the way?
Yes,
Blue
they
Bonnet,
do.
and
Blue
it
Bonnet.
was played in the Astrodome, so it was the Astro, and then everybody glommed on because it's all about product placement. Cha-ching!
I'm waiting for the Vagisil Bowl.
Vagisil Bowl.
When they
That should be
have-
played on a slippery turf.
So awful. For the first time ever, a bowl game mascot will be edible. On December 28th at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the 2023 Pop-Tarts Bowl will pit teams from the Atlantic Coast and Big 12 conferences against each other live from Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. Now, the Pop-Tarts Bowl mascot will be an IRL manifestation of the Agents of Crazy Good ad campaign.
Never heard of it.
I know. That will run around the stadium interacting with fans. When the game ends, that mascot will then transform into a game-winning snack for the victors.
Wow.
What the hell did I just say?
I have no idea.
Seriously, I'm reading this, and I'm thinking while I'm reading this, I don't have any idea what this means.
Well, that's the way I usually work.
Ad campaign that will run around the stadium interacting Agents of Crazy Good. Whatever. So that's it in Jen's book,
All right. Hey, big props up for this Christmas television ad. It's fabulous. I don't know if you've seen it yet. John Travolta dressed as Santa Claus.
I have.
It is fabulous.
It is
and
really
it's set.
good.
It's set to Staying Alive.
I'm glad you
and
mentioned it.
Absolutely fabulous.
Somebody makes a cameo though in that ad. Did you notice?
I've only seen it a couple of times. Who?
Donna Pescow. So she
played
Angie.
Angie.
So when he walks into the store, she winks. I don't know what he says.
Oh,
to
that's Angie.
Donna Pescow. And so she was the one that always wanted him
Yeah.
in the film, and he always danced with her, but laughed at her and had sex with her from time to time. So she winks at him.
I don't like that movie that much. There is one scene.
did I.
One scene I absolutely love though. When they're at the dinner table, his family dinner table, and the father says, "You only get one pork chop" or something like that, and he hits him in the side of the head. And John Travolta says, "He hits my hair all day. I work on my hair, and he hits my hair."
Yeah,
and then he
that
gets
was
up.
a
He gets
weird
up and
movie.
leaves. It's a very strange movie. I'm gonna leave you with this thought.
What thought?
How do celebrities, I mean top earners, big time earners, how do they check out with not having a will? And this thing's been tied up forever. It's finally been settled. The estate of Aretha Franklin, when did she go cold? Has finally been settled.
A couple years.
Oakland County, Michigan probate judge Jennifer Callahan comes to the rescue, gave the real estate not noted in a handwritten will. A handwritten will.
Wow.
The kind of cha-ching that she had. Wow. So this judge spreads it out among her sons, how many sons she has. But that's unbelievable to me. People who check out, and this is common. It's amazing. If you don't have a will, you're a brouillon.
Well, listen, my great uncle
I'll put
Al,
you up there.
My great uncle Al, who was a bricklayer or owned Albert Brienne Construction.
Please,
in Woonsocket.
he was a mason.
Yeah, well, whatever it was. I mean, he had a poop ton of money. Okay.
So a janitor
Yeah.
now is a superintendent now, right?
Okay.
And a bricklayer is now a mason.
So he had a handwritten will. He was dating somebody much younger than him, and family folklore says that she was actually a prostitute.
Wow.
That he had met her that way, but he had really taken to her, and I know her name, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get sued.
You got a number? I'm kidding.
No, I don't. She was still alive about 15 years ago.
I'm kidding.
But anyway, it was a huge deal because when he died, he had a handwritten will that said, "I leave everything to this woman."
It's not going to hold up.
My family went to court, and they didn't get all of his money, but they got a chunk of it.
Yeah.
They got a chunk of it. And Great Aunt Marion went on a world cruise.
Marion, she get her toenails done before she went in?
She did.
Hi, Marion.
Aunt Marion, yes, she did. So anyway, there you go. So you make sure you have a will. Do you have a will?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Am I in it?
I knew that was the next question. Don't forget, help
That's
us
awful.
help us adorn our tree of brouillons.
I'm kidding.
You can send the name to our Facebook page, Ron and Jen's Great Escape on Facebook, and check it out because there's a lot of very cool activity that goes on there. It's worth checking out, believe me. Just send us the name. We'll come up with the picture. And next week on our YouTube podcast, we will put that on the topper.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on rinewstoday.com, the website. Jen had a really good article this week about Dolly Parton. You go, girl, at the age of 77. And I actually got serious this week. There's a very, very specific word regarding the impact to the upcoming presidential election or any election that you really need to educate yourself on. It's
one word?
One word, yep. It's vocabulary for the college-bound student. And I stumbled upon the word. I had never heard of it before.
Corruption.
But oh, no. This
Ballots,
is
stuffing.
it's very, very interesting. And also follow us on our Saturday show, our Saturday radio show, which is on 920 WHJJ and also 104.7 FM. But you can hear it across the fruited plain. You can hear it everywhere. Guam picks us up at they do at 920WHJJ.com. Did I forget anything? Our sponsors, Brenda Lee O'Hara, O'Hara Senior Care Services, 401-345-1811. Greg's for the holidays, for your meals and your desserts. Order now at gregsusa.com. And thanks for Operation Stand Down, Rhode Island, OSDRI.org, and thank all three of them for their continued support. It's the holiday season. It is full-fledged holiday madness out there. The traffic has been just brutal already. So just do us a favor. Be nice to each other. Try to have some patience. Don't drink and drive.
No.
There's
please.
my lecture for the week.
I don't want no trouble. Don't hit me.
Don't want no trouble.
Drive the
All right.
speed limit, would you please?
If you don't, we're
What
going
the hell?
to put you right up here. All right. Have a good week.